Welcome to DowerChin.com. Okay, today we're going to take a look at the Xerochroma Vario SC case for the iPad mini. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos before, I have a similar Xerochroma Vario case for my iPad 3. And to this day, it actually still is one of my most favorite cases. And primarily it's because this case, unlike other cases, offers a special thing, which basically is this disc here with a kickstand that comes out that allows it to be used and positioned in many different angles. So it's a very flexible case, and yeah, let's just take a look at it, and you'll understand why I like this case so much. So all right, let's take a look and get this out of the box here. All right, here we go. And here's the insert that just touts a bit more about the coolness stuff that we can do with this thing. All right, so you can see it has this kind of this black disc here, and what it does is it kind of opens up and allows it to be spun and moved around, so you can position this in any way you like. Now, it is a flexible case. It's a kind of a thick rubbery plastic-like material, and so but the disc itself is hard plastic. So let's put this on my device and see what it looks like. So here's my vulnerable naked iPad mini with Retina display. Once again, the Retina version is a little bit thicker than the previous generation. Let's see how this seems to be fitting it just fine. And so there we are. So now it's got nice openings for the lock, volume, headphones, microphone, power, and speakers and Thunderbolt. So it's got this area open over here, so it's actually compatible with the smart cover from Apple. So if you have one that lies flat, it goes with it very nicely. So now with it on, we can flip this open, and you can see that just by positioning it like so, I can basically now stand up my device in portrait mode, which is really kind of nice. And I can tilt it down different angles, and it still maintains its positioning quite well. I'm tapping on it, it's not collapsing. I can go even shallower, and which is really kind of cool. Now I can flip it like this. Now I can have it this way, and I can have an even more steep angle, go further down, and it's still very sturdy. So this is a very cool case. Now, if you want to do comparison wise, this is my old one, and it looks very similar. This is for my iPad 3, which looks gargantuan and compared to my mini. But as you can see, it has the same disc over here with a very similar mechanism. Now this one obviously fans out, which is all right. The other thing that they've changed in the design a bit is that if you can see this, there's a bit of a bump out to allow for that disc on the back. So some people may or may not be detracted by it. The nice thing about the new one actually is not as pronounced, but being smaller, it's there. So once again, the other way you can use it is they say you can hold it, so use it as a stand to kind of grab onto. So you can do that, which is kind of nice. Gives you a little gripping surface to if you want to hold on to it. So if you're filming, you can with the camera, you can kind of flip it this way and kind of hold it and have the camera on the side there, so you can kind of, if you want to film that way, you could. It's not the most comfortable that way, but you can. It gives you something to hold on to as opposed to gripping it on the sides. So the interesting thing I wanted to note, let you know, is that it seems that some of the newer accessories take up more space on the mini than is allowable for this thing to work. So for example, if I look at my favorite setup beforehand is to basically have this big boy basically tied in together with Logitech's ultra thin keyboard cover. And this was kind of a nice little setup, because then basically it sort of did what my Surface does now, where basically I can stand it up like so, open it up, and I got my keyboard to work with, which is kind of nice. I was hoping to emulate it and have a mini version of it with my mini here, but sadly something changed. Now Logitech, what they did with this one, with their mini one, is they actually lengthened this entire segment so that it no longer actually matches up. So with this, you can see it doesn't line up anymore. So it actually doesn't fit because it actually overlaps the area that's being protected. So they widened it, I think, more for stability. But now it doesn't. I can't. The dream is gone. I can't use it this way. It's not going to work. You can almost do it with this guy, with this keyboard, with these Zag keys. Because Zag's keys actually is thinner on this side, so you can actually still kind of cram it in there. The problem now is that this comes down so much that it doesn't leave enough space for it to grab onto. What I found you could do, which is a bit cumbersome, is you can kind of, because this is flexible, you can kind of pry it a little bit and kind of squeeze it underneath the case. If you really wanted to do this, but it kind of defeats the purpose, because then it's kind of you're not much better off than when you had if you buy the Zag version that has the case built into it. So you're not really benefiting that much from this setup anymore. So so a little disappointed that I can't put the keyboard on this way to kind of have it sort of like this tiny version of this. But well, it is what it is. So it does leave you room. So if you have the smart cover, you can put it over it, and having the stand is incredibly nice. So basically being able to, say, watch your movies, laying it down like this, even more of an angle like this, or hey, even playing, like, say, a pinball game like Pinball FX or any of those ones, stand it up like this, and you have access to it, and it doesn't wobble a whole lot. It wobbles a little bit, but you can kind of play with it. But it's nice to be able to have that option. So there you have it. It's a nice look at the Zero Chroma Vario SC case for the iPad Mini. Thanks for watching.